Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight with some developing news. There has been a major breakthrough in a decade-old cold case. Today, 2 people were arrested and charged with the alleged murder of Campbelltown man Shane Jeffrey Barker. To start our coverage tonight, our reporter Ruby Kamain joins us live outside the Hobart Magistrates Court. Good evening, Ruby. What do we know at this stage?
Kim, a pair in their 60s appeared before the court here this afternoon over the alleged 2009 murder. A man pleaded not guilty while a woman adjourned for plea. It comes after a lengthy and extensive investigation. Let's take a look now at how it all came to a head today. A day the Campbelltown community will never forget. This home on East Street declared a crime scene. The occupant found shot dead inside. But today, more than a decade later, police made this announcement.
Tasmania Police has today arrested and charged 2 people with the murder of Campbelltown man Shane Jeffrey Barker.
They say he was last seen at Campbelltown in 2009.
Police allege that Mr Barker was murdered, being shot 4 times on the 2nd of August 2009 at his residence.
The 36-year-old's body was discovered the following day, leading to the lengthy investigation by the Serious Organised Crime Division, resulting in today's efforts.
Early this morning, police arrested a 68-year-old man and a 65-year-old woman at a Swansea property. They have both been charged with the murder of Mr Barker.
Police allege the 2 accused were known to Mr Barker, both appearing this afternoon in the Hobart Magistrates Court. Nolene June Jordan adjourned for plea next month, while Cedric Harper Jordan pleaded not guilty to murder, set to appear in the Launceston Supreme Court in July, a major step forward in the extensive investigation.
The investigation has been complex and is one of Tasmania Police's longest-running murder investigations. A team of dedicated investigators has worked tirelessly to bring those allegedly responsible for Mr Barker's murder to justice.
Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
Thank you, Ruby. Well, let's bring in Garth Burley now, who spoke with Mr Barker's brother Paul today. Good evening, Garth. Now, how has the family responded to today's development?
Good evening, Kim. Well, as you can imagine, all the loved ones of Shane Barker are feeling quite emotional today after receiving the news. This has been a lengthy ordeal spanning more than a decade and has been filled with multiple police searches, pleas for information. Throughout that time, Paul Barker has never given up hope that police would be able to shed light on the death of his brother, and today's charges are one step further down that path.
A moment almost 11 years in the making.
To be honest, I'm over the moon. I'm ecstatic. We've been waiting for this for a long time.
A big step forward in Paul Barker and his family's long, desperate search for answers.
They didn't give up because I wouldn't let them give up. Yeah, because my brother, he wouldn't have give up on me.
His brother Shane was allegedly murdered in his Campbelltown home in August 2009, leaving behind his young daughter. Every day since has been a wave of emotion.
You smile on the outside, but it's in here, it tears you apart. Today, hopefully that heals a bit.
Years of police investigations hunting for evidence and his suspected killers taking a particularly heavy toll on his parents, Robert and Barbara.
Come forward, because we are going through hell.
Gutless bastards.
Sadly, Robert passed away in 2018, never knowing what happened to his son.
He'd just be emotional, like I am a bit, I suppose, but he'd be smiling.
The father of one was described as a larrikin, a great dad and a loved member of the community.
People talking about him, they said he probably could have been voted the most popular in the town at the time. Who would want to do it, you know?
A brother, son, father, gone. Why is the next question his family wants to know. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
And a 14-year-old teenager is one of 2 people charged over an alleged armed robbery of a service station in Bridgewater. Police claim a bat was used to smash a glass counter and a staff member threatened.
It's business as usual at the United service station at Bridgewater this morning, but the busy store was the scene of a dramatic alleged armed robbery overnight.
We believe it was a random offence.
Police allege shortly after 9 last night, a 20-year-old man entered the store on Greenpoint Road, wearing a dark blue jumper and khaki trousers, brandishing a wooden baton.
So as the male entered the service station, he's approached the front counter and immediately smashed the glass counter at the front, which startled the attendant.
With his face covered, police say the man threatened the staff member with the weapon, demanding cash. Authorities praising the fast response of the attendant, who was uninjured.
Yeah, so staff complied with all demands from the offender and handed over cash as requested.
Police say the offender fled on foot, heading north on the East Derwent Highway with $800. He and an accomplice were arrested in the area this morning.
A 20-year-old male from Glenorchy has been charged with 1 count of armed robbery, as well as 3 counts of failing to comply with the direction of a public health.
A youth has also been charged. Anybody who was in the area overnight or may have dashcam footage from the highway during that time is urged to contact police. Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
Aged care residents and their families have been reunited as coronavirus restrictions finally begin to ease. After weeks apart, sharing a moment together was one to savour.
Ignore the calendar. For Kayleen Johnson, today is Mother's Day. She's finally able to visit Mum Barbara after weeks of being kept apart. At Rosary Gardens, all arrivals must undergo a temperature check. Sanitising hands goes without saying.
I bought you your magazines, so you'll be able to add some mandarins.
Aged care residents are now allowed 1 visit each week with up to 2 visitors. Compassionate exemptions had been in place at the Newtown site, but today was emotional all the same.
Really lovely. Still can't hug, but just the residents are very happy to see their loved ones and loved ones equally.
Overnight, no new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed, giving Tasmania a 3-day winning streak. Nearly 20,000 tests have been undertaken since the crisis began. With the worst of the northwest outbreak hopefully over, attention is turning to mobile testing using buses.
This weekend we'll see them deployed to Scottsdale, Bothwell and Geeveston. We also have an itinerary over the coming weekends to ensure that we get coverage across Tasmania.
The swabs will be brought back the same day to the lab here at Royal Hobart, so there'll be no lag time for the regional tests.
As of today, funerals can be attended by up to 20 people. Breast screening services have resumed. National parks and reserves are open to residents who live within 30 kilometres. Gates at the Hobart Botanical Gardens are also unlocked.
Oh, it's great to be reopened. We've been shut now for 6 weeks. We must stress, though, this is restricted access and it's for exercise only.
Perhaps not time to stop and smell the roses just yet. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
A Mowbray man remains in a critical condition tonight after suffering serious injuries from a trail bike crash in Mayfield yesterday. Police say the 35-year-old lost control of the unregistered bike before colliding with a tree at a reserve near Hargrave Crescent. It's believed drugs and alcohol were factors in the crash. The man was transported to the Royal Hobart Hospital. Police are hoping to speak with anyone who saw the rider prior to the incident. A coroner has found the death of a man at the Mersey Community Hospital in 2017 was avoidable. Jan Axel Pedersen died after suffering an infection in the lungs and brain. Today, coroner Simon Cooper found management of the 71-year-old at the hospital was poor. He said the infection could have been treated had it been diagnosed. Tasmanians returning to the roads are being urged to take care. The RACT is reminding drivers to be aware of the fatal 5 once COVID-19 restrictions are eased. The motoring body has also hit out at fuel retailers over petrol prices.
RACT thinks that Tasmanian consumers are absolutely being ripped off at the bowser. We're seeing significantly higher fuel prices than we are around the rest of the country, and there's absolutely no reason for that. And fundamentally what that comes down to is not enough competition in Tasmania.
The state government is also facing calls to take on more roadworks while there's less traffic. The Tasmanian Juice Company has recalled an entire selection of products from stores across Australia. Juicy Isle has voluntarily recalled all varieties of its pure Tassie organic juice with best before dates before January 31, 2021. It says this is a precautionary measure as some products had higher than usual levels of a common
Clearly this
microbial.
has an impact for juicy ale, but our concern is always with the consumer and their health, and they're getting the best quality juice they can.
Anyone who bought affected products can return them for a full refund.
Good evening. Devonport, St Helens and Campania. Our top today with 17 degrees. Hobart and Launceston 15. Burnie 16. Temperatures within a degree or two of average. 16 a common temperature. Smithton, Lowhead, Ouse, Friendly Beaches and the Islands all on that number. Strawn and Grove 15. Lyawini a top of 8. Patchy cloud over the north, south east and east today with most cover to the west bringing a few showers. 7 millimetres to Mount Reid and 4 millimetres to Strathgordon. Mid to low level clouders over Victoria, southern WA and parts of the top end. A band of cloud linked to a jet stream extends inland from Western Australia. Tomorrow a cold front passes through, a trough just ahead of that front. A high drifts towards the Bight, a couple of troughs over the mainland as well. Winds starting out northwesterly, reaching 30 to 35 knots before turning westerly during the afternoon. 3 metre swells building to 4 in the late afternoon. Gale warning from southeast Cape to Sandy Cape, a strong wind warning for remaining coastal waters and also the southwest lakes. Hobart tomorrow, a top of 18 and showers clearing. Showers for Adventure Bay, 17, 12 the high for Tarraleah. Launceston, showers easing. Later in the day, windy and 15 the top, 15 also for Devonport and Bridport, a windy day with a few showers. Burnie showers and a bit of wind, 15. 15 also for Strawn, showers for Marrawar, 14 degrees. St Helens tomorrow, a shower or two developing, 16 the top. 17 for Swansea, a late shower for Flinders Island, White Mark 16. On Wednesday, a few showers over the west, far south and Bass Strait, partly cloudy elsewhere. Fine day on Thursday apart from a shower over the west and possibly King Island. And on Friday, showers again for the west and far south, winds turning northwesterly. Partly cloudy in Perth tomorrow, showers developing later for Adelaide. Partly cloudy for Melbourne and Brisbane, sunny over Canberra, Sydney and Darwin. Cloudy in Hobart, 13 at the moment, 12 right now in Launceston, bit of cloud over Devonport as well and 13 degrees. Cool and windy tomorrow, Kim, just the encouragement we need to stay at home.
That is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night.